God. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha, Kwadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which would be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. A shalom, beloved Akim and Akwa shalom. Let's just buy on back again through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the true names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. And I just want to get into a brief live stream, speaking to the, to the madness that was said by your boy over at the ISUPK, your boy Captain Tazariak, regarding and that the title is quoting what he said. All right, that's right from the horse's mouth. All right, one of the high-ranking officials over there in ISUPK, right? We all have the M.O.T.B. Okay, and we got the receipt regarding him saying this and his point he's establishing, his breakdown, ISUPK's breakdown on why that's the case. All right, ain't nothing but a 5-minute moment, all right, of him talking to a caller, all right, and trying to plead his case regarding it being that, which that doesn't make any type of sense when you go into the breakdown. It doesn't even take a long drawn out breakdown. You can read it and it says what it says, But the thing is with these guys, bro, they don't have a spiritual bone in their body. They don't have a spiritual bone in their body, and they don't understand the scriptures on any level. As much as this guy goes on these random podcasts and platforms, and he's debating, and he makes himself sound prolific, and like he's just scholar, this all-knowing, in-depth understanding of the scriptures type of dude. He doesn't even understand this critical prophecy that's clearly, okay, that clearly evolves around economics, right? That clearly evolves around it being subdermal, and it clearly evolves around you end up being fully controlled if you get it, all right? Confused with what's spiritual and what's physical, okay? Just all over the place, man. And we got the receipts. We're gonna play it. And I just pushed the button. Is what I did. I came through the spirit. I was kind of meditating, and I remembered, I wanted to talk. I wanted to tap into this. I had something else through the spirit, but this came to mind through the spirit. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, we gotta shed light on that right now. For it's already known. It's already well known. But it's just all through the spirit. They're new listeners. You're just doing it through the spirit. But this is the thing, man. Like, this prophecy, Revelations 13:16, this prophecy, you can't get this prophecy wrong. All right? You can't. Why? Because you can't repent from it. Okay? You can't repent if you receive this. If you receive this device, the size of a grain of rice, bro. All right? If you get that Neuralink, if you get that, what I'm saying, you can't repent from that. Hey, the M.O.T.B is on the scene. It's not even like it's something that's just being talked about. And how do you think we got the thumbnail? Okay, the M.O.T.B is on the scene. That's the title for a lesson. All right, but these guys, you got, but again, through the Spirit, we believe a lot of these guys sold out. And this is the same dude, mind you, that was pushing Esau's Venom back in 2020. You see, during that scamdemic, that whole congregation was pushing it from their leadership down. All right, and the beloved elder Yashawamba did a lesson. I seen it yesterday, and literally, your boy Captain Tazariak had a lesson titled "Get the job, stupid." Roughly paraphrasing, get the shot. Get the shot, stupid. He's talking about I got it, so you wouldn't be scared to get an X, Y, and Z. But here it is. You got members of the IUIC drop. They were dropping like flies, bro. Based off getting this thing, and individuals got family and friends that actually fell victim. All right, to this diabolical crime to humanity agenda that Esau pushed. And here it is. You had guys that claim to be leaders of Israel, right? Pushing that narrative, bro. You see? But again, a lot of these guys are rolling with the enemy. We already know a lot of these guys are rolling with the enemy. And again, let's tap into it real quick. Let's go. And again, I'm just going through the Spirit. Let me get this real quick. Let me see. Something to open up with. Let's get this. Let's get this real quick. And again, I'm just going through the Spirit. The book of Ecclesiastic is also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 24, and it reads, "As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked." And it's as simple as this. If you're not part of the elect, you're not going to understand Revelation 13:16. You're not going to understand it. Nor are you going to understand anything else in the scriptures, man. You're going to stumble over the chief cornerstone, bro, Yahushai. Let me read that one more time. Ecclesiastes, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 24. And it reads, "As his ways are plain unto the holy," right? The holy being the elect. Holy meaning what? You've been anointed. You've been consecrated. You've been separated, bro. Okay, Galatians 6 and 16. The Israel of God, man. The Israel of Yahweh. Okay? These things are plain. The name is plain in the sense of knowing the name. Okay? Because we already know the name of the Lord is glorious. But what I mean by that is the name of the Lord is easily understood. As it tells us in, what's that? Sirach 17. I believe it's the same chapter. Yeah, Sirach 17 and 10. That the elect shall praise his holy name. So the doctrine will be understood. Okay? Revelations 13 and 16 will be clear. It doesn't take, hey, come on, man. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize when you read it, we're going to get it. We're not going to do a deep, in-depth, crazy breakdown. There are breakdowns out there on it. The brother's been doing. But we'll go over it real quick through the Spirit, just after we play the clip and just shed light on it and roll. Hey, this is going to be repetitive, man. Hey, this is something, it's important to keep speaking on these things, man. You'll be surprised, bro. Look what happened to these guys, bro, over at the Demon Hakah and Demon Hassad. Yeah, they sold out, but there's a reprobate spirit that's on them, man. For you to sell out, there got to be a reprobate spirit on you. Real talk. So, hey, that's why it's important to keep, going into these prophecies, meditating, praying, fasting. You already know. Just try, Lord willing, the Lord keeps us, man. Because as much as they think they sold out on their own, nah, man. The Lord done took you, all right, and put a spirit on you and got you up out of there completely. Right? Job 12 and 16. But anyways, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. You see, and as it tells us in Daniel, let's go get this real quick in Daniel. This lines up beautifully with Daniel. You Akiyam know where I'm going. Like the book of Daniel, chapter 12, and verse 10. And it reads, "Many shall be purified and made white and tried," bro. Right? And we're going to become pure through this word. right? Through the trials and tribulations we go through as we walk the straight gate, bro. That's why Yahweh Shai said, what? Strive to enter in through the straight gate. This is not an easy walk. But guess what? We're doing that, right? What happens? You become purified, man. That fire, that gold, that tried with the fire, man. Acceptable, man. You gotta be acceptable. You gotta be an acceptable man, man. Like it tells us, I think that's Sirach, the 2nd chapter. You know? That's the elect, right? Made white, made pure. That white goes into purity, right? And tried, right? But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. But the wise shall understand, bro. The wicked are gonna stay outside of the courts of the Lord. They're gonna stay spiritually calcified. Okay? Their conscience seared with a hot iron. They're not gonna get it. What's that? 1 Timothy 4? They're not gonna get it. No matter if you can beat them up, and they're still not gonna get it, like the elder apostle I said. You can beat them down, and they're still not gonna get it, bro. They're still not gonna get it. They're not. The Lord's blocking them, bro, through the angels. Let's get this clip real quick. Let's pull out the receipt. Let me see here. Bear with me. I just wanted to make a point with, what the Spirit gave me when I was peeping. Come on now. Here we go. Now I got it timestamped. I remember it was right around the, I think the 40-minute mark, if I'm not mistaken. If I remember clearly. Yeah, here it is. I have it still around the area. Okay, here we go. Bear with me, Akiyam. Let me run this around here. Let me get this screen. Swipe down. Here we go. Just trying to adjust the screen. Bear with me, Akiyam and Akwath. Get this screen to flip. Here we go.
You know, what is a mark? Yeah, what if somebody call you Mark in California? What is that?
So you tell me, I don't know.
Oh, no sweat. I'm sorry. Mark, I'm about to say, that's from California slang. Mark means an easy target or gullible person, someone easily scammed or taken advantage of. That's what a mark is. Hot now.
Okay, okay, got it.
Right. So they don't.
But I got lost after.
No. That's exactly what.
See, this guy, Mexican guy, was following GMS. Now he's kind of, that makes more sense with ISUBK. Well, you know what that proves? That this guy wasn't the elect. Yeah, but I watched 150 GMS videos, but it still doesn't make you one of the elect. So you got two people that are not elect, all right, until proven otherwise, unless they repent. If they don't wake up to this, they're going to get caught up in it.
I was talking about. Now, when they call him a mark, they don't have nothing tattooed on their body, but their actions and the way they think let you know, oh, this is a bust-ass nigga right here. This a Vic. I can hustle him. I can game him. So in Revelations, it's spiritual. It's not talking about a physical thing. And here's how you know. Does the white man today have to put a mark in us to obey him, or are we obeying him on our own?
On our own?
Yeah. He don't need a... Hold on one second.
Captain is playing this guy. He's weak-minded. His Ezekiel is weak-minded. I would ISUBK, man. Fuck GMS. There ain't no apostles.
Caller, hold on. Like, he don't need to put a microchip in our body to control us. He don't need to put a
Ultimately, they're going to do it. And I hope that it happens in 2026.
Microchip in our body to get us to buy and sell. We're buying and selling everything from him right now because we already have the mark of a beast.
Okay, so wait a minute. So then you got the mark.
There you go. We already have the mark of the beast. And notice how he can't discern between the spiritual mark in Ezekiel, okay, the Tawa, which is the mark of exemption, and the physical mark in Revelations 13:16. All you got to do is go into it and look into it. When you go into Revelations and go into the blue letter and look it up, Karagma, and look into it, you can clearly see it's physical. When you go into the context of the breakdown, it's linked to economics. It's telling you if you don't have the mark, if you don't have the specific mark, you can't buy or sell. This system's going to transition. It's going to get Draco. Okay? It's going to get Draco, bro. This nigga said we already have the M.O.T.B. So you already know. What's that, Akiam? Revelation 16? Where our swords at? Let me go get that real quick. All right? Where's everybody popping up with those swords? All right? Let me see something real quick. Bear with me. I'm going to hold that right there. Let me get this real quick. The book of Revelation, chapter 16. In verse 1, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of power upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore, all right, upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon him that worship his image. So where are sores? Okay, where are ulcers? When you look into that word, that's what it goes into. It's going into cancer, bro. Where's everybody popping up with And we know there's ailments people are coming up with because of the food that this nigga's filing, and the way he's got this whole system set up, these factories and these cars that pollute and X, Y, and Z. But the M.O.T.B. Where us buying and selling, where our sores at? Come on, man. Who's Yahweh Shai coming back for if we already have the M.O.T.B.? That means everybody's going into the lake of fire and they're going to be tormented before the holy angels and before the Lamb. That means everybody's going, pursuing the Revelation 14. This doesn't make any logical sense. You see? This doesn't make any logical sense. This is a token how you know he's working for the enemy. You see? Because the enemy's agenda, right, is to push this device. You see? This is the move right here. This is Esau's move right here. This is gonna be his final. This is gonna be his final hoorah. This is what he's gunning for. So he's using niggas to try to sow confusion, man. Because that's all he's doing. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is not an author of confusion. That whole breakdown is confusing. And it's not cohesive with prophecy. That doesn't line up. And that caller, all he had to do was pull this. There was many scriptures he could have pulled and mentioned. He could have pulled this right here. Where are we? Let's make this make sense for a moment. Hold on. Wait a minute. If it's spiritual, when you go into the breakdown, all right, why does it tell me it's an engraving or etching, okay? Or mark brand upon horses? Why is it going into a physical thing? In the Greek, charagma. You see? The old boy wasn't studied. He didn't go into. This is why you got to search these things out. And here we are. That's why it's necessary to do this video. As much as we know these breakdowns and we understand the reality of it and the validity of it, it's still important to do it. Because look, there was a caller that called in. That's a testimony to that. That's a token. Old boy, because he mentions Elder Apostle Tahar, so he's listening to GMS, and now he's calling in Captain Tazariot. There's sheep out there still wandering in the wilderness, man. That's why it's essential to go into these things, man. Because here it is. He can't, man. But yeah, how do we already have the M.O.T.B, bro? Okay? And how is it spiritual? Okay? What you're going to find out as he continues to speak, supposedly, is sleeping with white women. Right, let me play it. And none of it it doesn't add up when you go into the breakdown. Let's get a little bit more.
Notice he just said, we are already marked.
This January 20th, everybody's going to celebrate this. If he says vote, everybody's going to vote. If he says don't do this, everybody's not going to love these people and hate these people, we're going to do it. We already marked.
No, we're not.
You got to do.
No, we're not. Yahweh Shai told us what? Render Caesar what it seizes, bro. Right? But what belongs to Yahweh, what belongs to the Lord, there's a separation. Remember, there's 7,000 men that will not bow to the image of Baal. So that talking point doesn't add up. Because the elect is not going. If it violates Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai and what we are to do, right, in efforts to stay in good graces with him, we're not going. Lord willing, we're the elect. Yeah, we stopping at stop signs, of course. Do we pay our taxes? Yeah. Taxes? Yeah. You know? Are we law-abiding citizens? Of course. All right? But once it crosses the line between us violating our power or doing what this dude said, no, we're not doing it. And Yahweh Shai said it. Matter of fact, let me go get that real quick. So that talking point don't make sense. Matter of fact, let's hear him again because it was kind of choppy.
If he's
Let me bring it back.
Celebrate this.
It was kind of choppy.
What he said. That
It's
means
running
he
from
got
my
the
head.
mark of the beast.
Listen again.
He just said he got the mark of the beast.
We already have it.
Tripping.
If he says celebrate this January 20th, everybody's going to celebrate this. If he says vote, everybody's going to vote. If he says don't do this, everybody's not going to do this. If he says love these people and hate these people, we're going to do it.
No, the fuck.
Already marked.
No, the fuck we ain't. Okay? Because at the end of the day, we don't vote. All right? And we're commanded not to do that pursuant to Deuteronomy. What's that? 17? Akiyam? Deuteronomy 17. We're not supposed to put no king over us of the heathen. You know? And as far as loving and hating somebody, no, the hell we don't. We don't move in the energy of what they're talking about. We don't celebrate that. How? What the hell is this nigga talking about? If they tell us to celebrate it, we're going to do that. No, the hell we ain't. We don't celebrate Christmas or Thanksgiving or any of these diabolical, wicked holidays, bro. That explanation doesn't even add up. The nigga that's on the phone calling him, where you at? I think that nigga was high when he called. Because he's supposed to be a recovering addict. He must have been high right there, bro. Come on, man. There's no way you can sit there and let a nigga tell you that stupidity right there. Okay? That's madness, man. Let's go here. And again, individuals calling in, you don't know the scriptures, bro. Because you got to hit him with this. Let me see. Yeah, we're supposed to, as it tells us in Romans 13, we're supposed to, operate, through the power that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has ordained. We're supposed to, respect that power, but there's a limit. Watch this. Let me see something real quick. Let's get it in. I'm gonna go straight to the point. Let's go to Mark 12. Yeah, let's go to Mark. That's the spirit, right? Let's go to Mark, the book of Mark. Right? I'm gonna go straight to the point. Matter of fact, let's read up into it. Let's go up a little bit. Let's go verse 14. Mark 12. All right, and verse 14. All right, verse 16 is the point, and it reads, and when they were come, they say unto him, Master, we know that thou art true. Right? And these are I believe these were the Pharisees and Herodians trying. Yeah, it says it right here. They were pretty much trying to catch. Man, let's start at 13. And they sent unto him certain of the Pharisees and the Herodians to catch him in his words. Right? So they were trying to catch up Yahweh. They always did this. They always tried to snare Yahweh Shai. you know, with certain talking points. But the Lord, they hit them with a parable, okay? And have them niggas out of darkness somewhere, scratching their heads, trying to figure him out. They could never pick up what he was putting down, right? But none of them a lot of them were not of the elect, right? But needless to say, look it. And when they will come, they say unto him, Master, we know that thou art true and carest for no man, for thou regardest not the person of men, but teachest the way of God in truth. It is lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not, right? So they were trying to build an accusation on the Lord Yahushua so they can go back to Caesar and say, you know, he said not to give you tribute, and I can get you put to D. You already know how they were getting down in Rome. But check it out. Shall we give or shall we not give? But we know in their hypocrisy, but he knowing their hypocrisy, right? Because Yahushua could read their minds, man. It tells us he could read their thoughts. It says that in many scriptures, the Lord can read. He could read your mind. You know, he already knew. We're talking about the Messiah here, man. But look it. But he knowing their hypocrisy, said unto them, Why tempt ye me? Bring me a penny that I may see it. Right? And they brought it, and he saith unto them, Whose is this image and subscription? And they said unto him, Caesar's. Verse 17, and Yahushua answering said unto them, Render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to power the things that are powers, bro. And they marveled at him, man. See? So again, when it comes to serving Yahweh, when it comes to being, I guess for lack of better words, obedient within, you know, our enemy system, there's a limit. All right? Because if it comes down to, you know, transgressing our power, you know, in the sense of this M.O.T.B, it's not happening. We're in captivity, you know. So you look at, it's the Shabbat, bro, and here it is. I gotta close out in a second because I gotta go to the plantation. You know, you got your beloved Akiam and Aqua. You probably either already at work, you already came home from work, or you're going to work as well. And it's the Shabbat. This is what we're going through right now, man. You know, this is part of the affliction because we're in captivity. You know, and that's something we can't help that. You know, wearing mixed fabric. You know, we can't help that. But as far as this M.O.T.B is concerned, okay, hey, that's something you can avoid. You know, and when you go into Revelations 20, it tells us those that are martyred resisted this nigga, man. The Lord put the spirit on the elect to resist him, bro. Okay, the Lord's gonna put the spirit on the elect to be pilgrims on the earth, bro. The elect are gonna be like pilgrims in the wilderness, bro. Remember, we're gonna get the scriptures going. What's that? Revelations 13, and what is it? 15. It goes into we're gonna be ostracized, bro. It's gonna go from being ostracized to your life being on a line. That's how it's gonna play out. You know, because evil E wants to establish a system, and this is what you niggas are gonna find out. This is what you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. Okay, when it pops off, when it goes down, when it comes into its perfection, you're gonna find out. All right, and this nigga Captain Tazariel is gonna have his mouth open. You're gonna be able to see all them teeth. Okay, he's gonna be looking crazy out there, bro. Along with all you other individuals that didn't understand or believe, you know, the reality of what was being brought forth, man. You know, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. We're trying to warn you, and that was the point I wanted right there. You know, the Lord said, render to Caesar. What is Caesar? Render to Yahweh, to what is Yahweh's, bro. And that's how the elect move. Let me go here. And as a matter of fact, I'm done looking at that dude. Let's go to Revelations 13:16 real quick. We already heard the madness. We don't need to hear anymore. He already said it. We all got the M.O.T.B. The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16, and it reads, and he who, Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, in the form of the glory that's going to cause it all. Okay? Both small and great, right? Old and young, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, which is the charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads. What can you do and what can you not do with it? And that no man might buy or sell, save that he have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, or the name of the number are synonymous. All right, if you receive this mark, you have his name on you because it's part of the UPC, the Universal Product Code. That's going to be on it, 666. And that's the number of a man. That's this guy. Okay? Now, real quick, for the sake of edification, we're going to do this real quick. So when you go to Revelations 13, I don't got much time, but we're going to do it. And 16, when you get this word, Mark.
Strong's G 5480. Kharagma. Kharagma.
Gragma, right? Which goes into what? A stamp, right? An imprinted mark. And it says, of the mark stamped on the foreheads or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-Mashiach. And there's many anti-Mashiach. Okay, we already know that pursuant in the 1 Peter, there's many. There's not just one. There's many. Right? The mark branded upon horses, right? Again, that shows what? Ownership. Right? And it's a form of control. Look at thing carved, sculpture, graven work. Okay? Look at this. Of idolatrous images, bro. Okay? Of idolatrous images, man. This thing is not spiritual. It's physical. It's graven work. It's going to have to go under the skin. Look at this. Under the Strong's definitions. All right? Charagma from the same as G5482. A scratch or etching. That's physical. Right? I know. Stamp as a badge of servitude or sculptured figure, statue, graven work, bro. All right, and when you go into the root word, what you're going to find out is this what?
Strong's G 5482. Charax. Charax.
Harax, right? And what you're going to find out, this is going into the delivery system. Look at pale or stake. Look at a palisade. All right, now if you type in your phone, if you look up a palisade fence, if you type, there's a crow. That's the spirit, bro. There's a crow right by me right now, just chilling. If you look up palisade fence, right? You're gonna see that fence with that tabor. It looks like a syringe, okay? Because that's exactly what it's talking to. It's talking to the delivery system, bro. That's gonna drive this device, the charagma, underneath your skin. You see? Come on, bro. This is the reality of this thing, man. And guess what? It's gonna evolve around you being tracked, traced, monitored, and surveilled. All right, your carbon footprint's gonna be tracked. Okay, your location, everything, bro. That's full. It's gonna have full control over you. Yes, the Esau is gonna use a mark to control you. What's this guy talking about? All right, listen, Captain Tazariak is a false prophet. Okay, you beloved Akiyam and Akwath out there newly coming in. Watch out for these guys at the ISUPK. Okay, they're false prophets. All right, they're false prophets. They're tripping. Genesis, false prophets. Demon Hakad, Demon Hassad. Okay? IUIC, false prophets. They're teaching false doctrine. They don't got it. All right, Watchmen for Israel, false prophets. They're teaching false doctrine. They don't got it. Okay? Who else? And the rest of them, bro. Bow, B-O-W, false prophets. They're teaching false doctrine. They're leading you away from the reality of the truth. If they don't got the breakdown of Revelation 13:16, they're false prophets, bro. Watch out. There's wolves in sheep's clothing. Salaki Aki Aminakwab. I gotta go. All right? Hey. All we can do is warn you, beloved Aki Aminakwab, man. You know, this thing is real. As we always say, it's deadly serious. Your soul's on the line, man. All right? Heavy judgment's about to come upon this planet Earth. All right? We're in the midst of the second death, bro. That's what's about to go down. You know, it's about to be a wrap. Okay, and Esau knows these things. Next year, July 4th, is the 250th year, all right, of this man's reign of terror. And they like to coin it, the time of Cristobal Colon. Okay, which would have put them on the scene for over 500 years via 1992. You see? So this nigga's well beyond out of time, Esau. You see? So this is the time we're in, man. We're in the time of heavy judgment. You got the Statue of Liberty collapsing on her neck over in Brazil. Lord willing, I can do a lesson on that. I'll do a pre-record on that, Lord willing, because I want to show some pictures and go into that. Abaratazar, I can hit that. And that's a sign of the times. You know, a token, an omen, nomen, as the brother's been saying. We here. The Lord's visiting this place, bro. All right? Salvation draws nigh. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kwadash. Hey, double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Once again, Lord willing, you beloved Akiyam and Akwath were edified, spiritually fed and informed through our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Till next time, beloved Akiyam and Akwath. Till next time, Shalom.